devour these roasted red pepper cheesy empanadas while giving you the tea on the chilling and horrific murder of Denise Amber Lee. Grab your wigs, clutch your pearls. This is truly a chilling case. And without any further ado, let's eat. So let's get right into it, guys. Found this recipe on TikTok. They were wontons, but I didn't have any wonton paper, so I made empanadas. I hope they will suffice. Let's try these out. I got this Thai chili spicy sauce. Let's give it a go. This strange, chilling, and horrific case of Amber takes us to a small town in Florida. A 21-year-old mother taken from her home in front of her two young boys, driven down busy roads in broad daylight, screaming for her life. A case that had 911 call centers lit up with witnesses giving play-by-play of the brutal crime in real time. Let's start from the beginning. January 17th, 2008. What started out as a normal day, Denise was home with the boys while her husband Nate was out to work. According to his testimony, they checked in with each other during the day as they normally do. It wasn't until about 3 p.m. when Nate got off work and noticed Denise wasn't responding to his texts. 25 minutes later, he pulls into the driveway and notices the windows ajar. Denise is nowhere to be found, with the boys safely home, however, all alone. Her phone, keys, and purse all left in the house, which is strange. So Nate immediately calls the police. The first of many calls made to the police in relation to Denise. Now police arrive to the scene and immediately ask neighbors if they've noticed Because his phone was a cheap and disposable phone, police were unable to get an exact location. They were only able to use the cell towers the phone was pinging off. The next 911 call came in a few minutes later, this time coming from King's own family members. His cousin's daughter tells police that Michael King just left their house, and what disturbed her and her father at the time was that he had a girl tied up in his car. Apparently, he stopped by to borrow a shovel and a gas tank, as well as a flashlight. Now, her father maintained that he wants to remain anonymous, so he made his daughter call the police on their behalf. Police are starting to get a better idea of who they are looking for, where he lived, where he worked. Meanwhile, at the office, 911 calls are lighting up. Another call comes in, this time from a witness driving on the road. The witness, Jane Kowalski, tells police that a man pulled up next to her in a blue Camaro with what appeared to be a child in the back seat, kicking and screaming. Because by now, Michael King had driven out of the county, the call was directed to a neighboring 911 dispatch. Also, Jane, being in the neighboring county, was not made aware of Denise's kidnapping. She was simply reporting what she thought to be a child abduction. Now, somewhere during the phone conversation, Jane loses the Camaro in a busy traffic intersection. Meanwhile, the police are frantic, trying to find King. They end up searching his house and find used duct tape with long strands of hair attached. The hair appeared to be Denise's. Now, the house is disheveled, but more importantly, it's empty. Where is Denise Amber Lee? One more call came in later that day. It came from an anonymous man calling from a payphone. Here's what went down.
One more 911 call came in at 6:50 p.m. It was the fourth call from a witness that day, and it was made from a payphone.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
I'm not sure exactly what the emergency is exactly, but I think there's somebody that's been taken without their, they don't want to be where they need to be.
Uh-huh.
And they're in a 95 green Camaro from Northport somewhere.
Okay, and how do you know this?
I know.
The man on the phone tried to remain anonymous. The information he provided a little disjointed, but he seemed to know something about what was going on in that green Camaro, and he was able to add a detail about the car. It had what auto enthusiasts call a bra on its front.
Is he going to hurt the girl?
I don't.
You saw them, though?
Yeah.
And where was she? In the car? Was she okay?
And she looked like she wanted to be there.
The mystery caller routine didn't work for long. Police were able to figure out pretty quickly that the caller was Harold Muxlow, King's cousin and the father of the young woman who'd called 911 earlier in the hour. When they went knocking on Harold's door, they got him to reveal more about that encounter in his driveway.
Lawnmower broke down and it's stuck in a ditch and needs gas and a shovel.
At about 6 p.m., the cousin said, Michael King had stopped off at his house to borrow a gas can, shovel, and flashlight. After grabbing that stuff from his tool shed, Muxlow said he watched the woman who would turn out to be Denise struggle with King for about 30 seconds. At one point, she even got outside the car and yelled, "Call the cops," before King shoved her back inside.
So I turned back around, started walking down there, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about it," and he took off.
King had told him not to worry about it, and Harold Muxlow sort of chalked it up to another one of Michael King's sort of crazy relationships, although it bothered him enough to call his daughter, but apparently not enough at the time to intervene.
But Michael King had no criminal history, just a few complaints filed by neighbors who suspected him of playing pranks. Patty Paul, who owns a beauty salon in Venice, Florida, says King was a regular. She described him as a quiet, unassuming customer, though she did tell the police about one disturbing incident. King had shown up at the salon with a girl he claimed to be 15 years old.
I thought, oh, okay, maybe it was a niece or maybe it was his daughter, and then they started to kiss at the desk, which made us all pretty uncomfortable because she did look to be young. He told us he met her in Tennessee off the internet.
Police interviews with other witnesses would reveal a pattern of disturbing behavior. Reports that King exposed himself to a woman while on the job, and even one allegation of rape. None of these incidents were reported to police at the time. Days after Denise Lee's disappearance, investigators were finally getting a handle on the man they had chased.
With Denise now gone, her family wanted answers. How was she failed, given all the leads, all the phone calls? Would she still be alive today if police maybe just acted faster? Forensic prove that not only did King kidnap and murder her,
Police finally corner suspect Michael King's green Camaro.
When all that was unfolding, it was chaotic. We had a checkpoint. We stopped them.
He has the vehicle stopped at 160.
Your heart races because you're in that moment and you're thinking, go, go, go.
Tag is verified by FHC.
We go up to clear the car. It is Michael King in the car.
We've got a suspect. We've got a car. We know it's the green Camaro.
Michael King is 1012.
But she's not in the car.
Female is not with the vehicle.
That had to be one of the most heart-dropping moments. We missed her. Where is she?
And what detectives find inside the Camaro only deepens their sense of dread.
There was a shovel, a flashlight, and gas can.
Our air unit still up?
Me being in law enforcement, I knew if she wasn't in the car, that was not good.
Signal 14, the male subject is soaking wet.
I was told when he was found, he was wet from like the waist down, and his pants had like mud and stuff on them. So I figured, well, maybe he dumped her in a swamp or pond or something.
I'm talking to Trooper Pope now. He advised when he seen the vehicle, it looked like it probably came off of a side street, off a Toledo Blade.
He was actually stopped right here on the interstate, almost straight across where we're at now.
Police take Michael King down to the station and impound his Camaro. With the clock ticking, Morales presses his suspect.
I'm here because I need to find out to you what happened.
There was still hope that Denise was left somewhere, and there was still time. We immediately started questioning Michael King.
You're the only person right now that can tell us what happened.
Let's get him to talk. I don't care what you got to do. Get him to tell us where she's at.
We need to find where she is, and we need to find out from you what was going on.
The evidence is overwhelming that Michael King did it.
No, it's my attorney.
But it's even more devastating now because he's not talking.